Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Monday, July the 8th, and we are here to look at new releases being set into the wild this week. And on Mondays, we look at cozy mysteries, every day a different genre. On Mondays, cozy mysteries. Tuesdays, mysteries and thrillers. Wednesdays, romance. Thursdays, fantasy and science fiction. Friday is Freeform Friday. We look at whatever I want to look at. Sometimes it's more cozies, sometimes it's nonfiction like we did last week, sometimes it's general fiction. It's just up for grabs. Hope you had a good holiday, good weekend. Hope you read good books. I read a couple on my 4 days off. Good afternoon, Helen. How are you doing? Good morning, Mary. Happy Monday. Do we have I believe we have a sale today, but haven't seen a SKU list yet. Good morning, Kim. Hello. At the very last minute, I had to change my shirt because the virtual background did not like the stripes I was wearing. So I'm a bit ruffled. You're okay? Oh, good. All right. We're going to look at cozy mysteries. I like that cup of coffee, except it needs creamer. Well, not creamer, but I put coconut milk in. Okay. Oh, and I was working on the let me go back to here. I was working on the shawl for Sarah. I'll show you a corner of it. There it goes. Coming along. I had to go scramble and get more yarn that would work. I will get it done this week for sure. I was kind of hoping to have it done for the weekend, but because of the yarn situation, Mary said there is supposed to be a sale today. Yes, one of those long ones in two parts. Oh, yeah. I've just paid the plumber, so I have no money for beads. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't need anything. I absolutely don't. I haven't beaded in like 2 or 3 years. At least two. Mary, love your crochet. The colors are great and like the pattern. Yeah, it was easy. I've never done a shawl before. Thank you. I've never done a shawl before, so this is sort of I found an easy beginner one on YouTube, and it's just apparently granny square, only it's flat, so it's going quickly. Sarah's favorite color is orange, and I had some orange because of on hand because of Randy, and but I didn't have enough of that color. And I didn't buy, since I didn't buy more, when you buy at a different dye lot, the colors are different, which is true. So then I did that speckled one, which I also had on hand, ran out of that, and so it's been that third, it wasn't big enough yet, so I had to go get a third color. So it's been an adventure, definitely. Well, I didn't know what I was going to be making when I got those two. I was glad I could use them, but it just wasn't enough. Kate Quinn has a new one, The Briar Club. Washington, D.C., 1950. Everyone keeps to themselves at Briarwood House, a down at the hills, all female boarding house in the heart of the nation's capital where secrets hide behind white picket fences. But when the lovely, mysterious widow Grace March moves into the attic room, she draws her oddball collection of neighbors into unlikely friendship. Poised English beauty Fliss, whose facade of perfect wife and mother covers gaping inner wounds. Policeman's daughter Nora, who finds herself entangled with a shadowy gangster. Frustrated baseball star Beatrice, whose career has come to an end along with the Women's Baseball League of World War II. And poisonous gung ho Arlene, who has thrown herself into McCarthy's Red Scare. Grace's weekly attic room dinner parties and window brewed sun tea become a healing balm on all their lives, but she hides a terrible secret of her own. When a shocking act of violence tears the house apart, the Briar Club women must decide once and for all who is the true enemy in their midst. Capturing the paranoia of the McCarthy era and evoking the changing roles for women in post war America. I have read Kate Quinn before and I quite liked it. Don't know if I'm ready for that, but sounds very, very good. Oh, Shady Hollow has a new one. Summer's End. We have some ladies at church that make prayer shawls for people at church. Oh, nice. Oh, neat. Yeah, it's I've only done it for about a year now, and it is such a useful craft. This is by Juno Black. It's late August in Shady Hollow, and intrepid reporter Vera Vixen agrees to chaperone the school's annual field trip to Summer's End, an ancient tomb built by an early woodland culture. Naturally, her good friend Lenore Lee comes along to help her. But when the group enters the tomb one morning, they find a corpse that is distinctly more modern than expected. Digging deeper, Vera and Lenore discover that the deceased was involved in the recent excavation at the site and very unpopular with their colleagues, including Lenore's sister Ligia. Now the Fox and Raven must delve into the dark world of academia and archaeology to clear Ligia's name. Some creature at Summer's End thought they were clever enough to get away with a perfect murder. Can Vera and Lenore unearth the truth in time? Yes, you heard that right. Fox and Raven. This is animals. So very, very cozy mysteries. Excuse me. Coffee is required. Crimes and Confections. Confections by Catherine Bruns. 14th in the Cookies and Chance mysteries. With her beloved grandmother on vacation in Italy, baker Sally Muccio has her hands full. Between running a business, running after her toddler daughter, and running to keep her crazy parents out of trouble, Sal can't seem to catch a break. Adding to her overload, Sal's ever youthful mother Maria decides to enter the local Mrs. Buffalo beauty pageant, and she selects Sal and Josie to provide sweet treats for the audience. It's sure to be an exciting day for all involved. But when vengeful contestant Charmaine Weatherwax sabotages Maria's gown, the beauty contest quickly turns into an ugly affair. Hours later, Charmaine is found dead in her apartment. To make matters worse, Sal's mom is caught on a surveillance camera entering the woman's apartment shortly before her death. Are the chaos cookies about to hit the fan? For the Muccio clan, Sal will need to find the real killer before her mother's sent up the river without her stilettos. Recipes included. Chai Tea by M.L. Hamilton, ninth in the Zion Sawyer mysteries. I am reading this series. I think I'm back in book 5, maybe. Zion moved to Sequoia after the suspicious death of her biological mother. In her will, Vivian Bradley left a coffee shop, a cottage, and a new beginning. In return, Zion helped solve her murder. Growing up, Zion knew she was adopted, but her adoptive parents, Joe and Gabby Sawyer, were enough for her. She never longed to find her biological family. In fact, she never thought to question who her father was or whether she had siblings she didn't know about. However, when a woman calls claiming to be her long lost sister, Zion has to decide if she wants anything to do with this unknown side of her family. Not only that, but her sister wants her help to prove their father did not commit murder. Can Zion make peace with a man who never wanted to be her father? Can she save him from a murder conviction? More importantly, should she? Murder on the Nerd Cruise, a Larkin Day mystery by Nicole Deeker. This is fourth in the series. After spending her summer solving murders and staging Shakespeare, Larkin Day is ready for a vacation. When her best friend Annie invites Larkin to join her on a themed cruise for a tabletop gamers and sci-fi and fantasy fans, as well as mathematicians, magicians, musicians, and anyone who wants to spend a week relaxing in the Caribbean, Larkin says bon voyage. Although Larkin considers herself more of a theater geek than a nerd, she quickly finds herself bonding with the other passengers. So does Larkin's boyfriend, Ed, who finds a community of black nerds who are more than eager to have him on board. What does skin color have to do with it? Annie and her boyfriend Elliot, who have taken this cruise before, assure Larkin that it is statistically unlikely for there to be any murders aboard ship. Most cruise ships have a morgue, of course, Annie explains, just in case there's an accidental death. That's why when popular fantasy author Adamantine Darcy stops making appearances on deck and then stops making appearances altogether, people assume the death is accidental. Adamantine was 80 years old, after all. She was also 80 pages away from finishing the final book in her best selling series, The Time Tangent Gentleman. It's a tragedy, Annie says, but not a murder, until Larkin discovers that Adamantine's body is missing its head. Still could have been an accident, for goodness sakes. Vengeance in Vermont, Moose on the Roof Books, Mysteries, book number 1 by Bonnie Stock. Opening Moose on the Roof books in Currier and Ives' quaint Vermont is a long-held dream for retirees Emma and George Nielsen. Little do they know their small town of Mill River is a hotbed of long-simmering animosities and tensions. When they invite a local author to hold a series of talks on her book about death, they unwittingly set off a chain of events that lead to a sudden and ugly death on an impressive summer evening. The attendees, including the town's trusted silver-haired pharmacist, the beloved and gentle veterinarian, and a young Appalachian herbalist, all have murderous intentions, motives, and means. Love and revenge permeate this small community. In a Hitchcockian moment at the bookstore, the apparent killer is finally revealed, threatening the Nielsen's lives and their livelihood. Someone, however, is keeping a secret. As they do. Murder on the French Riviera by Olivia Rose, third in this series. Excuse me. Diamonds, Deceit, and a Deadly Masquerade. A scandalous royal murder shatters the Hawthorne family's Riviera holidays, crushing Aunt Beatrice's hopes for her cash-strapped nephew Alexander, the Earl of Wexford, to marry the Italian princess and save his crumbling estate. Faced with international scrutiny, the chief inspector hastily pins the gruesome crime on the Earl, branding him a murderous fortune hunter. Refusing to let Alexander fall victim to the chief inspector's machinations, Elizabeth and her audacious cousin Melly plunge headlong in a high-stakes investigation. As they peel back the glittering veneer of Riviera society, they uncover a sinister tapestry of betrayal, blackmail, and deadly alliances. With each revelation, the danger mounts, and the cousins find themselves caught in a treacherous game where one false move could cost them everything. With Alexander's freedom at stake and a looming scandal threatening to ruin the family's reputation, Elizabeth must unmask the true murderer before the Earl's fate is sealed forever. But in this gilded cage of luxury and vice, can she trust anyone? She can trust her cousin. Secrets in the Sand, the Cherry Blossom Bay Mystery Series, book number 3. That sounds like a Cajun book. Thank you. Be sure and hit the like button. Oh, thank you very much. As Randy says, please like me, it's free. After the frontrunner to the Miss Cherry Blossom Bay beauty pageant goes missing, Piper is tasked with going undercover to find her. No one expects her to succeed. The pageant director dismisses her as not pageant material. Her own mother doubts her capabilities, and Kenji Kitsune wants her nowhere near the case, but Piper refuses to cower. Thrust into a world of sequins and poise, Piper must investigate without Kitsune's usual guidance. The stakes are raised when her aunt, Chief Agatha Rose, suggests Piper and Kitsune pretend to be in a relationship, complicating their investigation and their personal dynamics. As the pageant's glittering facade begins to crumble, a shocking discovery turns the event into a deadly game. With contestants hiding dark secrets and the pressure mounting, Piper and Kitsune must navigate this treacherous world to uncover the truth. Can they solve the crime before the killer strikes again? And I say that sounds like a Cajun book because she always has such the cutest titles. The Good, the Bad, and the Bourbon, a hot cross bun ganache mystery by Bailey Rain. Book one is an adult cozy culinary mystery with a hint of romance and recipes included. It will appeal to readers of blah blah blah. An ex-spy discovers a body and an abandoned piece of luggage on the beach in Gibraltar. Roxy Chase's dreams of opening a bakery finally come to completion after a recent divorce and when she moves to Gibraltar. When she finds the body of Lavinia Bishop on the beach, Roxy resolves to investigate her death. As Lavinia is someone she worked with in the past, her loyalty spurs her on. But the more she delves into the lives of the villagers in Pecan Cove, the more her goal switches to a desire to protect them. Ex-spy, her dream was to have a bakery. That's a strange loop. It could happen. Murder on Devil's Pond by Ayla Rose. A Hummingbird Hollow B&B mystery. That sounds like another Cajun book. When 33-year-old Hannah Solis returns to her hometown to renovate and reopen the inn she co-owns with her sister Reggie, her mission to give the old Victorian hotel an entirely new life. She's even planting pollinator gardens around the inn, native flowers and fruit trees to lure honeybees and house guests alike. Hannah's fresh start is stymied by Reggie's continual interference, unreliable contractors, and check the couch for coins budget, and townspeople Hannah left behind 15 years ago. Her main source of camaraderie is Ezra Grayson, an 80-year-old recluse who lives nearby. After an unsettling conversation with a disgruntled Ezra, Hannah is horrified to discover him dead on her property later that day. Ezra had always had plenty of people to complain about, especially locals trying to force him out of his property for its prime real estate. As buzz around town grows after his death, Hannah finds herself on the short list of suspects. Hannah starts digging and quickly discovers that secrets lurk beneath the charming surface of the town she once again calls home. Death of a Travel Advisor by Dory Saltzman, first in Best in Travel Mystery. The travel business can be murder. As a travel advisor, Gabby Ferraru knows there are always a few hiccups on the inaugural sailing of a brand new cruise ship, but murder? That's a new one. The dead guy's not so innocent, though. Lots of people wanted him gone, including Gabby's friend Major, who quickly grabs the attention of investigators. With too much going on in her own life to take up Major's cause, Gabby assumes the feds will move on to a better suspect. But when a second death hits closer to home and the feds are ready to close the book on Major's guilt, Gabby can't help but get involved. Now it's up to her to figure out what's really going on behind the scenes at Sea Cirque Cruise Line and who had it in for the victims before the killer makes another move. Death in a Scottish Castle by Lydia Travers Forth in the Scottish Ladies Detective Agency. Scotland, 1912. When Maud and Daisy travel to Clochlan castle on the Isle of Mull to investigate the theft of a valuable statuette. At first, the case seems straightforward, but when their prime suspect, bad tempered fellow guest Mr. Tremaine, is found dead in his bed, the detective duo realize the castle is under attack. At first, it appears the murder is impossible. All the doors and windows to the room were locked from inside, and there was no way for the killer to escape. But when Maud and Daisy find a secret panel with the stolen statuette hidden behind it and learn that the mysteries are linked. When the local sergeant investigating the case is found dead, the crime suddenly seems to have more twists and turns than the castle's sweeping staircases. And with the estate full of potential suspects, Maud and Daisy must work fast to uncover the murderer. Could it be the castle's owner, Magnus Carmichael, avenging his stolen statuette? Or pretty Jane Tremaine, disgruntled daughter of the deceased? Facing their most difficult case yet, Maud and Daisy must find the key to solving the mystery. But with so many suspects, which one will finally unlock the truth? The last one. Dependable friends and deceitful neighbors in Little Mallow. All kinds of books for Cajun. This is second in the Little Mallow series by Patsy Collins. Little Mallow is suffering a spate of robberies. Arnold Stewart, verger of St. Simeon's, interrupts a burglar in progress and saves the church's antique silver. His friend, schoolteacher Ellie Jenkins, is another victim. Who can be responsible? And are they also guilty of other far worse crimes? Naturally, police officers Crystal and Trevor Harris are investigating, and young Adam is asking many, many questions. Arnold's kind-hearted employer, Reverend Jerry Grand, is praying for answers and for those involved. Cameron isn't so much interested in solving the crime as keeping Arnold safe and showing him the beauty the world has to offer. All those people are old friends of Arnold's. His new friend Aurora is more interested in solving the mystery of Castle View. There's definitely something odd going on at the house next to Arnold's flat. Against his better judgment, Arnold finds himself involved. He's even more suspicious of the neighbors to his other side. They're hiding something. He really hopes he's wrong about it being a body. Can Arnold and his friends untangle the lies before being told in Little Mallow? Look at that. Perfect time. It's a sign. Hopefully it'll be a good Monday. All right, that is it for today. Like the B&B cover. Oh yeah, they always have such cute colors. Sure aren't spending much on artists and artwork for these covers. Nope. Nope. It's like the faceless romance books. Cost money to put faces on. All righty. Let's see. No sprints on my channel tonight. They are on Storm's channel if you want to do any sprinting. That is a Storm Reads. I do have sprints tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I do every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. Tomorrow we'll be looking at mysteries and thrillers, so a little bit more on the gritty side. I hope you guys have a very good Monday. See some of you later, maybe online. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Om nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.